Welcome back for this second video. Now that we have covered the basics of the quest creation process in the last video, we will dive into some more advanced features. So first I want to walk you through the few steps to set up those inactive collectibles that only become accessible for the player when the quest starts. So if I start this quest, I will be able to collect those mushrooms. So we are still working with the collect objective type, but this time instead of a regular item as the target, we will be using a quest item. So let's create one. But this time we will select AQ quest item data. And as you can see, the quest item requires the quest ID, which you will get after creating the quest. So be sure to enter the quest ID afterward. So here, like before, you just need to take this name and paste it here. Now we can create the quest and get its ID. So it's this one. And paste it in here. And we are done. So now what I have to do is to tell that this mushroom, for instance, will drop our newly created mushroom. So as you can see now, we are still in the sleeping state. And if I start the quest, they will be accessible by the player. Oh yeah, and when you're done with the quest, of course, they go back to a sleeping state. You can achieve the same results with the interactables, but only if the parent class is AQ interactable. So for instance, if I take those two paintings and open the blueprints, and open the blueprints, you can see that the parent class is AQ interactable. So I will be able to select those two, go to the quest category, and set the isQuestActor to true. It will ask for a quest ID, so I can just go to this guy who has the quest component and take the quest ID in here, copy and paste. And that's all I have to do. Now if I activate the quest, there I have the particles. Next, I'd like to show you how to use events as requirements for your quest. But since this feature is quite specific to a certain type of project, I didn't include it to the custom quest tool to keep things simple and user-friendly. So to set it up, you will need to go directly into the quest data asset. And here, you will find a list of special events. You can add an element and choose the events you want. So for now, since we haven't created any events yet, we can't select any. So let's create one. We'll be using again the primary data set because it allows us to iterate through all the events if we need. So let's select AQ special event data. I can open it and set the ID. I will do it manually. Now that for the description I will just put collect vegetables. Now that the quest has an event as a requirement, we need to trigger that event somewhere. So just as we triggered events for the quest objective, we need to trigger this new event from the player channel component of our player character. So let's use the collectible blueprint I have. And in here, we can just get the player channel and trigger this event on special event notify and trigger the event we just created. So when we interact with a collectible, so for instance, all these guys are collectibles, it will trigger first the add item to inventory and then the unspecial event notify. So when this will be triggered, the quest will receive this notification and will validate the requirement. So for now, the quest is not pending, and if I collect any of these collectibles, it will unlock the quest and I can just start the quest. Quick tip if you want to know where the events are implemented, you can just do right click and reference viewer and you will see which are the classes that implement your special events, so you can keep track of everything. And to wrap up this video, I want to show one more thing. So as you may have seen, when creating an objective you can also select minigame, and this kind of objective can really be anything you like: puzzles, event-based quests, or other unique scenarios. So for example, in this minigame, you must protect this nexus from 3 waves of enemies, and the entire implementation is in the blueprint. So if I open the blueprint, you can see there's the whole implementation, and all I need to do is to get the player channel when the quest starts. That will allow me to trigger the minigame event once a wave is finished. So when I spawn the next wave, I trigger this event with self as an entity, and when all the waves are cleared, it means you've successfully protected the nexus, so I trigger the protect event at this moment, again with the self as entity. And if the nexus is destroyed, I trigger the quest failed event. There is just a bit more with the AQ quest listener, but it's mostly to check the state of the quest to start the minigame when overlapping with the start zone of the quest, and to stop the minigame if the quest has been abandoned, but you can check that on this blueprint if you want to have more information about the quest listener. And that's all for the minigames. You can just implement everything you need in the blueprint, get a reference of the get a reference of the player channel component, and then you will be able to trigger whenever you want the appropriate events. The only thing you will have to do is when creating the objective, you just have to select minigame blueprint. So you can really do anything you want with the minigame. It's up to you. You just have to know when and where to trigger the events. And that's all for this video. Let me know if you want me to do more videos about something more specific. If you struggle doing anything, just let me know and I will try to do a video as quick as possible to show you how to implement or whatever you need. Thanks you for your time, thanks you for watching, and see you soon.